Papenburg is a very little town in the northwestern part of Germany. It's only just above 30,000 inhabitants. It is very rural here. You have fields and you have dikes and you have some windmills, but there's really not much else. So it's a bit strange, isn't it? A small town building huge cruise ships.
The first time that you see a cruise ship, it's akin to looking up at the pyramids for the first time, because the scale of it is unbelievable. You know, they're 1.2 million square feet, at least. They're over 200 feet tall. They're more than 3 football fields long. But a Disney cruise ship, there's no other cruise ship like it.
The Disney Wish is the first of its kind, so it's a first-in-class ship, never been done before.
We have 4 existing ships that are extraordinary, and we're given this task of how do you make it better?
It has less emissions, it's cleaner burning.
The level of technological sophistication is awe-inspiring.
We've never done anything like this on any of our existing Disney cruise ships.
Hang tight! Contingency plans on our way.
It is unbelievable, like, how big of a production this is.
Take your butts now!
It's probably 0.01% of the overall cruise experience. It's just one night of dinner.
That guy's still eating.
There are projections and lights, there's performer flying, there is pyrotechnics.
We have a lot of work ahead of us, and of course the pressure is enormous.
There is 100 million things that we have to do. We have engineering, we have architecture, we have interiors.
The ship is like the ultimate design challenge. It has to be anti-flammable, it has to stand up in marine environments.
We have audio, ride design.
There's still a lot we need to do. Where's my waterproof notebook?
We have show set, props.
No guest is ever going to get this close to her, but we want to make sure that she's exactly correct.
There is so much magic that we need to create.
The timeline is so demanding, but we have the most amazing team.
All right, where to next?
It'll be a race to the finish. We all have our running shoes, and we're ready to go.
We are in the main building hall at the Meyer shipyard in Papenburg. We've come here, middle of the night, to really see one of the last blocks of the foreship, our Disney Wish, be lifted and mounted onto the foreship. Outside, we already have another piece of our ship being completed as well. A cruise ship is built in parts, so-called blocks. They are lifted and put together in a way like a Lego principle, and that's really what's happening at the moment. This block has a number 73. We are calling it the bridge block, or wheelhouse, is where the captain will navigate the ship. It is really heavy, up to 800 tons, so metric tons of weight. So if you think like a small car is about a ton, so that's 800 cars just there, hanging off of the crane. My name is Philipp Janot. I'm a naval architect, and I work for Walt Disney Imagineering, Germany. I make sure that we know where we are, what we're doing, and where we're going. I'm also a keen model builder, so I'm trying to keep up with the way the shipyard is actually doing the blocks in the right sequence. So I'm following the block plan here. A cruise ship is one of the most unique, most sophisticated, complex product out there. I have not found anything to date that integrates as much technology and different technologies as a cruise ship does. A power plant, theme park, a hotel resort, a sewage plant. We have the Walt Disney Theatre in there, and on top, the entrance to the spa. The ship also creates its own fresh water. It all starts with a white piece of paper. Concepts, ideas, takes a good year and a half before the first part of construction will even start. We will then actually cut the first piece of steel, and then off we go. The main engines go in, the LNG, the liquefied natural gas tanks go in as well. All of the heavy components down below, and those steel sections get put together into blocks. The ship will be more than 60,000 tons. These are metric tons, so close to 130 million pounds, if I'm not mistaken. So the model is exactly the same size as what our ship is at the moment. It's not complete yet, but neither is my model. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So at the moment, the bridge block is nearly in its final position. They're adjusting for the last few millimeters. They're actually talking in millimeters. So they're laser scanning all the time, making sure it really is perfect. And then it will be welded up to be part of our Disney Wish. And then the most important one for the foreship. It's like your child growing up. When the ship grows like that, you can't wait for it to grow as quickly as possible. This is a ship. It's crazy, right? My career is all about cruise ships. And even though I've been doing this for many years, every time it's very emotional. It's our design, it's our dreams, our creativity, all coming to life. Pretty awesome.
Welcome to my garage. This is my brain. This is where I have to make the magic happen. It's a pandemic. It's 2021. I think I've been working in this garage like everyone else for 15 months. When you're designing a ship where people are touching things and looking at things, you can't just do it through the computer. You need to be surrounded by it. I'm Laura Cabo, and I lead the creative development of the cruise ship. The task of designing and building cruise ships, aside from the pandemic, is a mind-blowing task. I'm an architect by training, and I didn't know anything about cruise ships. But I do know about design, and I know about storytelling. So having that opportunity to be in charge of an amazing team that injects that into our cruise ships, that's incredible. As Imagineers on Disney Cruise Line, we just have endless number of spaces. And all of those spaces are telling stories. That was one of my mantras. Everything on the ship is inspired by something.
You want to actually work into the carpet,
Yeah,
right? Is
like
everything related to the story?
Gosh, it's just endless. We go all over the company for inspiration, and so we work very closely with ILM, which tells all of our Star Wars stories, with Marvel Studios, and with Walt Disney Animation. I think each ship carries about 5,000 pieces of artwork. So it's a floating gallery, too. There's no other place in the world you'll see that amount of Disney artwork.
We have about 65 million works of art in our collection. Everything from Snow White to Encanto. And so we opened up our archives and selected a lot of wonderful pieces for various parts of the ship.
65 million assets. That's a lot of millions, right? And so that's a huge resource for us. You look at something so simple, this sketch of Bambi, it's unfinished. It's the essence of Bambi. Or we were looking at a Mary Blair, and Mary Blair is like one of my absolute favorite Disney artists. And you could just see the brush stroke, it was so simple, and yet that captured Cinderella.
We have more art represented on this ship than we've ever had represented. We have over 1,000 pieces from our collection, which guests will be able to see in stairwells, in staterooms, certainly in the restaurant. It's pretty extensive.
Mark. Everyone's settling. Here we go. Ready and action.
Captain America! Sam, Captain America. What do we call you now?
Sam works, or call me Cap. So how's the cushy cruise gig going?
Try the chicken tender. They'll change your life. What are you doing all the way out here?
We're headed back to base and we noticed a spike in high energy levels at your location. Red Wing, give us a bird's eye view.
We are in a soundstage in North Hollywood, California, where we are shooting our first scenes for Avengers Quantum Encounter, our brand new dinner show for the Worlds of Marvel restaurant.
Every time I talk, I'll do this.
It is going to be a flurry of activity over the next few days. We're shooting Anthony Mackie as Captain America and our stunt double, Sabrina, as Miss Marvel. I'm Danny Hankey. I'm a senior creative director for Walt Disney Imagineering, and my job is to bring all these amazing Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars stories to life on board the Disney Wish. So she turns, I cut their slow-mo shot. So at Worlds of Marvel, we want to give something that's interactive and brings the action as close to you as possible. And so tonight you're invited to enjoy a Avengers Technology Showcase. You're learning about some cool quantum technology and enjoying a great meal. Things go a little wrong. We might encounter a normal-sized seagull at a very small-sized ship, but all that cool quantum tech, of course, attracts Ultron, and that's where we call in the Avengers to come save our ship.
Watch my six! Hang tight! Contingency plans on our way.
We've never done anything like this on any of our existing Disney cruise ships.
What? What is it?
We've never done like a big Hollywood-style production.
You're an Avenger now.
And it's like, well,
in training.
If we're going to do a Marvel restaurant, let's just go big with it, right?
Let's see, page 2, he was destroyed 6 years ago. And he's looking for a new power source. Smiley face.
We're taking these characters
and putting them on our cruise ship, which is so cool, right? To stage our final battle on board the ship. They're there with us.
Continue to survey the ship around you, but obviously your eye line, you're talking to camera.
Got it.
And it gives us a way to have fun with like all the tropes of being on a Disney cruise. He must be here for the quantum cores.
Yeah.
Well, he isn't here for the chicken tenders.
I love it.
I can't wait to hear him deliver that. That will just make my day.
He must be here for the quantum cores.
Well, he isn't here for the chicken tenders. And we're gonna have a serious talk about you bringing quantum tech on a cruise ship.
I had no inkling the amount of people it would take to pull this off. We have people working on this in London, in Germany, in Florida, in California. We have to get into visual effects. We have to score the media. We have to create the quantum cores. We have to fit out the interior. We have to pick the linens and the chairs. You know, there's so much left to do. It is unbelievable, like how big of a production this is. And it's just one night of dinner. It's probably 0.01% of the overall cruise experience. That's just mind-bending. It's very ambitious, but we're gonna pull it off, and guests are gonna love it.
Well done. We left some chicken tenders in your...
Those better be the best chicken tenders. Bye.
Bye.
This is one of our many guest staterooms going on to our Disney Wish. This is an amazing process. The shipyard builds prefabricated staterooms off-site in their factory, brings them over here, and they're being installed in the ship So that's a very important piece of the entire puzzle. There are more than 1,000 staterooms. Every 15 minutes, they're installing a cabin on our ship.
It's amazing to see this conveyor belt. You don't actually see it moving because it's so slow, but every component as it goes down the line, you have people working from different directions. One's doing plumbing, one's doing millwork, one's doing the electrical.
And then as we get further down the line, they'll be installing wardrobes, cabinets, artwork, carpet, TVs, all that will be in the cabin by the time it goes on board the ship. I mean, this whole process is incredibly innovative. When this cabin first started on the line to where it'll end now is about a 12-hour process. So from 12 hours, start to finish, you have a complete cabin.
The total number of cabins we have, crew and guest, is about approximately 2,000, and we have about 900 of them so far. There's still a ways to go, but a good percentage is already complete. It's done. So nobody can make changes.
Oh, this is it. Fully finished. We've got the sofa bed, the bed frame, the mattress. So once the carpet is rolled out here, they can lock up the cabin, done. It is a really exciting moment. A lot of our team members from the US have not been able to come out here for more than a year because of the pandemic. So many hundreds of virtual meetings, virtual drawing approvals, virtual factory acceptance tests. Come on in, come on in.
You set your foot into this space, and we want you to be in awe. The stair is so beautiful. With that sweep, it's so elegant.
We're gonna start walking.
As I'm touring the ship, I'm seeing everything that's coming. Amazing things that are gonna come to life in a matter of months.
We've got the main galley for the entertainment restaurant. We only really have the start of the entrance to it.
But then up in the ceiling, we have something like
the main area, and we can do open house here.
Oh, God. This is a new feature allowing the guests to be able to come out onto the bow of the ship. Okay, we're in the bridge. All right, we're not stepping on any cables. We want them all to work.
Keep going, all the way up. Everyone catch their breath.
Oh my God, you get into good shape here. I'm exhausted. My legs are killing me, but there is a ship. I mean, it's not put together yet, but that's where Imagineering comes in here.
I want a team picture.
Taking this steel and putting an experience into it. Everyone say Disney Wish!
So the good thing about construction is it would be stressful if you had any time to stop and think about it. We have no time to stop and think about it. That's actually the reality. I'm Claire Weiss. I'm a creative director here for the Disney Wish. I really focus on the spaces that are inspired by a film or inspired by a character. So we're right here in the Walt Disney Theater. It's amazing because 2 weeks ago there wasn't a roof on this, and now there's a roof. There's an incredible amount of steel that has to hold this up because this isn't just one deck. This sort of steps down between 3 decks. Our entertainment partners, they wanted a theater that uses new technology. So that can be projection mapped, and you can change it with color and lighting and projection. So this was all 3D modeled down to the last detail and shape and light fixture and speaker. This just looks like a normal piece of green fabric. This was almost a 2-year development process for this color and this weave. Now they're buying and sourcing these materials from all over the world, the stones, the fabrics, the metals. And before we know it, I'll be sitting there with a glass of wine, maybe 2 glasses of wine, a bucket of popcorn, watching what's on that stage. I mean, we have a theater with a roof. All right, let's do a show.
This is a big moment for us. We're standing on the foreship, our Disney Wish, and the middle part of our ship is going to come in the next few moments.
There's a skyscraper floating towards another skyscraper. It's crazy.
And those two humongous pieces have to be joined at an accuracy of a few millimeters. We did it. Another milestone. It's 4:30 in the morning in Papenburg, Germany. It's the last block to go on to our Disney Wish. It's on its way over very, very gently. Yes, of course, it's middle of the night, but that's fine, right? I need to be here. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and of course, the pressure is enormous.
But once the blocks are all welded together, we won't mention blocks anymore.
We're going to be talking decks. We're going to be talking spaces, restaurants, cafes, cinemas. So yes, of course, I'm nervous in a way, but I'm really confident we're going to get it done.
Let's think this thing really, really through, because we are going into the last and final 7 months, and we just gotta make sure we keep spirits really, really, really high. Because people are getting tired, like everywhere else in the world, right, from the pandemic.
Maybe 80% of the spaces are really good, but then maybe the most critical spaces where we have the most show and coordination, entertainment, maybe those are, their trend is actually continuing to grow apart. I don't know. I'm just saying.
No, absolutely, absolutely right.
Yeah.
You know, these ships sitting out of port, not coming into the port, and we can't get hold of our materials.
Having just been to the shipyard a couple of weeks ago, I stood in front of this majestic bow and seeing every little detail of that ship. It just made me realize the resilience of the human spirit during what was a rather challenging period in constructing and building a ship.
Since we're now, a few months out, pressure's on. She's going to be floating out of the hall soon.
Let's remember that spirit, because it's gonna get, if we think it was busy the last 18 months, it's gonna get a lot worse in the next 7, right?
Yeah, that's so true.
Just because it looks like this one may have tipped in transit, and so just gonna kind of wait and see what she looks like when we open it up, but hopefully we're all okay. I can see hair, lots of hair. I'm Melissa Markford. I'm a show manager with Walt Disney Imagineering, and we are here today to start the installation of the Rapunzel Stern character for the Disney Wish. Rapunzel is the largest Stern character that we've done to date. She's 27 feet wide. She herself is about 9 feet tall. She has a size 22 women's shoe. She is very intricate and very big, and it's been a really cool undertaking. All looks really, really good. Some dust and some dirt, but nothing that's out of the ordinary.
Only Disney has Stern characters. They take a good 1.5 years, 2 years of design, working with our partners at Animation.
So literally we started by just drawing sketches to go, what's the right pose? Because we wanted that spirit of joy and enthusiasm.
Rapunzel with her bare feet, a little bit of a painterly mess.
So she's using her hair as this crazy sling, and so it's an incredible collaboration with the structural engineers to make sure that the character feels spontaneous, even though literally years of work go into figuring out how to make it absolutely rock solid.
Martin, I was just curious how it's going up there.
So far, so good. Bolts are lining up.
We start the installation from left to right, starting with the piece of hair that goes down, and then we go the swag, the next swag of hair, the next swag of hair. So now we're about to lift Rapunzel herself. Really tricky because she has about 5 attachment points, which makes it a little bit complex with the compound curves of the ship and making sure that everything aligns correctly.
We need to get in more up there, too.
Rapunzel has a wish for bigger things in her world, so she is the perfect icon for our ship.
It's my favorite part of my job is to make these magical things and see them come to life.
Cool, cool. Looking good. We are standing in the conveyor belt, our first scene of the Aqua Mouse. This is
crazy how just thinking this too, it's much bigger than I expected, right guys?
It's amazing because we've been talking about this for a couple of years now and dreaming up possibilities. And now we're standing in the conveyor. The screens are coming together. It's starting to look like we're in an actual Mickey and Minnie experience.
The snow, it's melting!
Totally worth it!
I find inspiration everywhere, you know, just have to immerse yourself in everything. My daughter, of course, is my biggest inspiration. Just like Walt did with his daughters, we do like Daddy's Day at the Disney park. And we ride Small World all the time.
During the pandemic, all of us had our own unique set of challenges. And for us, we had this added layer of our daughter getting an autism diagnosis.
Getting to see the world through her eyes just opens up so many new possibilities that I've never considered before. Things that I have to be more cognizant about.
It's cool to kind of see how she processes things. And it kind of reminds us, like, not all people think the same way, and so we have to consider a lot of different points of view.
We want to make sure everyone feels welcome to our ships, that there's something for everybody. The Aqua Mouse is a story about Mickey and Minnie. In our very first scene, you're climbing 45 feet all the way to the top. You're either the Swiss Alps or you're going on an underwater excursion to look for the mermaids. Each day of the cruise, we alternate between different stories. So when you get all the way to the top, the final scene of the story, we hit you with these giant water blasters. And then we go down into this amazing slide experience. Once we are dust-free, then we can start turning on the water, then we start programming and making it into an attraction.
We're going to have a final walk to make sure that everything is okay. So the propellers, the stabilizer, the thrusters are ready to go underwater, because that might be the last opportunity we have to see these components for a long time.
In this pod, there is a large electric motor that's directly connected to the main propeller blades. It's a naval architect's dream to be able to design the hull for a pod. For the energy efficiency of the ship, for the speed of the ship, it's really the most optimal flow to the propeller. So this is it. This is the last time we see her drive for 5 years. Yes, 5 years. Right? Not gonna work. Maybe it's time to do better. Finally, she's afloat.
It's unbelievable. It's so special. Suddenly you see it's growing, and then you're asking yourself, how could it be in the hall? Because the ship seems to be bigger than the hall.
This is it. She leaves the hall and she will never come back into the hall.
3-4 hours driving. We all wanted to be here to say hello to the gorgeous Disney Wish.
This is sort of her birth.
Happy birthday, Disney Wish!
These are new.
These just came today, I think.
The exterior is deceptive because the exterior looks beautiful and finished, which would lead you to believe that the inside is finished. As you can see, clearly not.
It's still very much in construction. You can see there's wires everywhere, still exposed walls.
So it's going to be broken up by sections. If it's too distracting, if you find that like you can't even concentrate on your meal because there's too much to see, then we can pare it back.
I said that you would probably be concerned that on the joint over there.
And Hyperspace Lounge, which is really coming together. You can really start to feel kind of that intimate, like fun environment that that Star Wars space is going to bring.
So much more to life when you see all the equipment that's going to be exposed.
Yeah, it's crazy that this is going to turn into this in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
There is a lot going on. I have this big checklist in my head of all the different spaces I'm touching, but I'm not in panic mode just yet.
We're in the northern part of the Netherlands, in the port of Eemshaven. We're going to go out for a couple of days. We'll find some deep waters and really go through an entire test procedure. Every single system needs to be put through its paces.
Disney Wish ligt op vertrek 10:07. Wilt u nogmaals ingaan?
My name is Marco Nogara, and I'm going to be the captain, the first captain of the Disney Wish. The ship is not ours, belongs to the shipyard, but will allow me some time just to check the thrusters and the main propulsion system. It's something very special because the ship became like your baby in a way. You see the delivery of the ship, you see, you know, the different stage of the outfitting.
Being out on the sea trials is fantastic. To finally see it float out and actually go to sea and start operating as we expect it to is really quite exciting. I'm Gareth Hamblin. I'm the Fleet Chief Engineer for Disney Cruise Line. I am sort of responsible for making the ship go and make sure we achieve all the things we want to achieve efficiently and effectively. The ship is literally a small town. We carry almost 6,000 people. We produce our own energy. We make our own water. We treat our own sewage. On top of that, this small town is moving at about 20 knots.
We've incorporated the latest available technology that's out there. We literally are the 7th cruise ship in the world to be fully running on liquefied natural gas, LNG. That is the cleanest current fuel that you can use for a ship of this size.
It has less emissions, it's cleaner burning, and so all around a better fuel to use.
But not only that, every pump, every light, every system has been designed to use the least energy possible. So not only are we using the best fuel that's available, we're also wanting to burn less of it. It is quite unique to witness this because some of these tests the ship will probably never do again, but she's got to be able to do it.
Today's the day where we determine the maximum speed at full power.
Okay, everybody, we start the first measurement. 100% propulsion power, set point. Achtung, 0.
The ship hardly creates any wave. That means you're actually not wasting much energy, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. I was 100% full ahead, and we were doing 23 knots.
She is fast enough, and a bit more. And this is amazing, of course.
Everybody on the bridge, just listen for a moment. Please secure your laptops, tablets. Thank you.
Next test is zigzag test 2020, first execute to starboard. Achtung,
0.
Steuerbord 20, Starboard 20.
So we can proceed with crash stop podway, so we will increase speed again to max.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ship is dead in water.
For any real emergency situation, the captain must always know how will the ship perform if he does need to stop the ship as quickly as possible.
So it went well. We stopped the vessel from full speed ahead within 9 minutes.
Oh my goodness, that was so much faster. We were more than 30% faster and a lot shorter as well. Very impressive to see.
We're here on the sea trial, and we're using the time to test the Aquamouse to see the rafts cycling through with the water flowing through their slide. It's a dream come true. Or it's a wish come true, should I say that instead? We have a different configuration of dummies in each of the rafts. They're filled with water to different weights to simulate whether it's an adult or a child, to test all of the faults and see how it performs before we get human riders on board. It's exciting. I'm a little bit cold, so if my reactions are muted, that's what's going on. Now I have to make notes. Where's my waterproof notebooks? I'm just kidding. There's still a lot we need to do before we're ready for guests. We have to install the entire show in the conveyor and do a little bit more ride testing and tuning. But yeah, I will say that we have successfully built a water slide because I got wet. We did it. That was really cool.
For about 10 weeks since we left the shipyard in Papenburg, we've been working through the night to get to a delivery-ready ship.
It's the final one. A few more seconds and she's ours.
It's a short moment, but it's something that we've been working towards 5 years. The pressure was already high, but I knew we're going to have a lot of pressure the next few days, the next few weeks beyond that.
We estimate that 15,000 persons worked on this ship, contributed their skill, dedication, and ingenuity.
The world wasn't always the kindest over the last 2 years with the pandemic, and yet this is what we have produced together.
This was probably one of the hardest days of my job in my career. We laid this carpet out. We started at 8:30 in the evening and went till 6 o'clock the next morning.
We have one tradition. You know the hip hip hooray? Oh. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Now we have an entire program ahead of us, a whole schedule of things that need to be done. We have 11 days to get from Bremerhaven, Germany, all the way to Port Canaveral, Florida.
We have a million things to do.
Right.
Our team is still going to be working their butts off to get this done. And we have guests, so that makes it overwhelming. But luckily for us, it's our friends and our family. They are a very forgiving audience.
We'll be there long.
Well, you've done this before. I haven't. But yes, I agree. It's unbelievable what the human spirit can get done when you need to.
We are in the Worlds of Marvel restaurant, putting the finishing touches as we cross the Atlantic. It's a little bit of a nail biter because we are just a few days away from having our very first test audience. We're working odd hours, 24 hours a day. And so even though we'd like to be further along, the case is we're not.
There's still a lot of work happening in here, as you can see. Today we installed the marquee. We're working on the lighting. We've got our media team working on all of the media and the audio.
What are you doing all the way out here?
We noticed a spike in high energy levels at your location. Red Wing, give us a bird's eye view.
Programming is a big piece, getting all of our shows together, lighting, audio, media.
You must be here for the quantum course. Well, he sure isn't here for the chicken tenders. Look at this crowd. You try keeping their attention. Hey, look, that guy's...
What are the frequencies there that we got?
It's an hour. 450.
Things change every day. I just got a message an hour ago that all of our production tables we need to move. Operations needs to have the space because they have to practice with their team. So we have to be flexible, whether it's later nights, early mornings, whatever we need to do to finish it up.
We have 9 more days left in the crossing. Sounds like a lot of time. That is not a lot of time. I think there was 8 months of scaffolding in the Grand Hall, so only now are we able to kind of see the breadth of the space. And now, like, you see it. The carpet is in, the chandelier is up, we installed Cinderella. One of the big things we still have to do is install Lucifer, who's the really evil cat in the Cinderella story.
Should we start with that big color-changing moment?
I'm currently using 17,990 channels for the fiber optic.
Oh, look at that pretty color.
We're talking about.
Look at that. I love that color. It's beautiful.
All of the miles of fiber optic cables that are in these columns and also in the ceilings. We're just in the beginning stages of trying to figure out when they come alive, what they look like, how the speed, the intensity, all that.
Okay, move in.
Nothing loose in your pockets are out, mate, have you?
We're working on these show moments with the chandelier where the chandelier becomes an enchanted object. So like classic Cinderella, right? The clock strikes midnight every night at midnight. It's gonna bing, bing, bong, bong. We're gonna use lights to dramatically strike the space. Please don't go into the floor. Stop, 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 stop.
There it is.
This is a super complex piece. This took probably 2.5 years of engineering. We got all the stars on, and they aren't exactly wired in the way that we want to get them to get this sort of the swirl effect. Because each of these can twinkle and change color and do its own thing.
So comfy.
We'll reconfigure each star by hand, put them back on, lift her back up, and then we're gonna start programming.
We are having another downtime right now. The ride team's on it, figuring out what's going on. We're just going to wait around for just a little bit longer.
There's a large amount of water spraying for our sensors. The system won't run if the sensors aren't able to see those rafts. So that these pieces of plastic cardboard represent a piece of pipe, so that rather than the water coming out here, it would come out over here, away from the sensors. Yes, sir.
Should be getting water next 30 seconds or so, okay?
Okay, copy that.
Oh, yeah, no, that's great. Okay. I think that's exactly what we want.
I think a few more wraps of duct tape around that cardboard, that's all you need.
Almost there.
Patent pending.
We're running.
The old walk of shame.
Kind of about halfway, right?
Halfway.
So we just kind of have to be patient and wait for our next opportunity. So we're getting through that too, no matter what.
When we first stepped on board, we knew there were challenges, and we knew the theater had to be completed. The Walt Disney Theater, of course, is the crown jewel of entertainment for us at Disney Cruise Line, and this is a very complicated space.
The Imagineers have built a state-of-the-art theater on a moving ship. It's luxurious, it's comfortable, it's beautiful. There are projections and lights, there's performer flying, there is audio and sound, pyrotechnics. So we have everything we could ever want on land. The challenge is the ship is being built. As we're trying to rehearse for this show, it's a little like building the plane as you're trying to fly the plane.
Usually we'd have the theater and we'd have 24 hours to work in the theater, and we don't, we have 12. We're in here trying to do stuff on the stage, and the outfitters are out here drilling and sawing and hammering and everything else.
But, you know, we have a deadline. The maiden voyage is looming. And so as we think about the crossing, right, at least you know the closer you are to Europe, the further you are from the maiden voyage, right?
It takes a village to build a ship. So, yeah, we're a hardworking village here on the Disney Wish.
I'm Ashley. I'm cruise director here on board, which means I help look after all the entertainment. You've got the brilliant minds of Walt Disney Imagineering that have brought these stories to life all around. And then my team comes in to operationalize it.
It looks like me in the morning.
We're training the teams on all the different stories, the shows, the programs, and we're really working together to see how it all fits. Every day, it's an intricate puzzle that we're putting together. You've got so many different moving pieces.
And then roll these short ends right here up to the center. There you go, that's good.
We have an extensive training plan going on right now throughout the beautiful Disney Wish.
And then lift it up and make a sandwich.
Test and adjust, test and adjust, test and adjust. Hi, my name's Lisa. I'm the hotel director, and I oversee approximately 1,125 individuals. Over 70 nationalities are represented on our team. Our entire food and beverage operation, galley, dining, quick service, concierge, housekeeping, laundry. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone. It's an army of excellence that is just crystal clear focused on ensuring we cross that finish line.
And then you can have a really nice monkey. Good job, John. Good job, Kendall.
We're ready to go. Let's go. Welcome to the I-95. Hello, guys. How are you? I-95 is an expressway for any crew member to go from the front to the back. My name is Salah Chetbi. I have the best job in the company because I'm the one who tastes all the wine and the one who tastes all the cocktail. We're going to the hotel storeroom where all the food, flour, meat, wine, beer, everything comes from there. This is a password. Is a... No, I'm just kidding.
My name is Michel. I am the executive chef. There are 250 of us in the galley. Approximately 160 of us cook. 80 of us are cleaners, like dishwashers. And then we have a team of 15 that are strictly provisions. They work every day. They make sure that we don't run out of food.
Every menu here at Disney Cruise Line is specially written for the location that they're in. We have a lot of fun creating the menu. We have to source the products, then we sample, and then we train our cooks and our dining staff. And then they will do numerous plate presentations, a few dummy runs as well.
Every day, regardless of whether we have guests or not, we need to practice the menus. Once we have 4,000 guests on board, it has to be automatic. We don't rest until everything is 100%.
This is a big bottle of champagne. This is like a 15-liter bottle of champagne. It's called the Nabucodonosor. So heavy.
We're serving, I would say, 2,000 glasses of wine a day, maybe like 4,000 beer during the cruise. Cocktail are the most demanding product. We're probably gonna pay 10,000 a cruise. That's what people expect. They like the adventures. Having a bottle of wine or having a cocktail, it's entertainment.
I have a very good feeling about the ship. We're all very happy about their performances. It is a very, very comfortable vessel. The ship is stable, maneuvers very, very well.
We are really cruising along. As you can see, we're just about top speed. We're doing about 20 knots. There's load there, yeah. We'll get it down. At the present moment, our priority is to make sure we arrive in Port Canaveral on time, because as you probably realize, we've got a lot of functions coming up. And so schedule is very important. It also depends, of course, if the captain wants to go water skiing. If he wants to go water skiing, then we have to go a little bit faster.
We're out here in the middle of the ocean, and the days are ticking by. We're all, trying to tick off what got done at every day. It's kind of like Groundhog Day.
Usually at this point in the project, you'd think you could just be done and walk away, but it's never that case. We're sharing the space with entertainment. We're sharing with the food and beverage teams. And so right now it's all theoretical that everything is going to work together.
To be honest, when you walk through certain zones, if you're not careful, you can go in the dark side, as we call it in Star Wars.
Let me ask this question here. Our goal here is to start setting this place so it looks like a restaurant at some point of time. Is that going to hinder any work that you're doing here?
In the world of Marvel, we literally saw there was 4 different elements working at the same time. There was a construction piece happening, there was a programming piece with the light, there was a programming piece with the televisions. As the construction is happening on one side, we're coordinating the service part of it, and then our team comes in there and starts setting up the tables at the same time. So today, while the ship is nearly ready and we are handing over spaces, it gets a little touchy.
I feel a lot of angst. And I try to push it down because I can't have that in front of the team. But I see them struggling every day, and they've got so much work that they need to get done.
Just turn it counterclockwise so that...
So as we pass from space to space to space, everything needs attention.
All right, where to next?
Right now, we're completely lost in all the details, right? Because this is our last opportunity. 5 years of work. It's our last opportunity to get it all done. They just want to deliver on it all. And my job is to step back and remind them that it's okay. At the same time, I'm tucking it back in the back of my mind like, yes, I want that detail too.
The pressure is enormous. It really is. We only have so many more days left. It's coming really, really quickly.
I think for all of us, this is such a culmination of so many years. That finish line is getting closer. We have been using all 24 hours, every single minute, all day long to get it all done. The crew are itching to be able to get into their spaces.
When you think of the team who've been at this, who are so tired, and still every day they get up, and they're still at it, and a part of the team is working through the night. I never thought we would actually get as much done as we have done now. Look at us sitting here, right? I mean, look at this. She looks done, and she nearly is, right? Just a little bit more.
I've worked for 30 years in the design field, and I have to say, I've worked on some really cool things, but this is really special. To be able to, to be able to have a dream that 5 years later, it becomes real. It's really cool. It's really, yeah.
The maiden voyage is the commitment. That first true voyage with paying guests is what we're all working toward. It's hard. I don't want to pretend that it isn't. It is really hard. But I think what gets me through it is to know that I'm in an environment where everyone is faced with the same challenge and everyone's doing their best.
Okay, all right. Take two. Take two. We got this. All right. Minnie. That one got us. All right. Here we go.
The show is working now. This one rode it 3 times in a row, which was a blast. I'm actually going to go again.
We're opening things up slowly but surely, so each and every day, bringing a new program to life.
So it's unbelievable what happens in a couple of hours. Then all of a sudden the space is revealed and you're like, okay, we can do this.
2 chairs, 2 tables.
Like the term all hands on deck, everybody has heard from every, pirate, sailor movie of all time. But it is really all hands on deck.
It's what people do to create, to build, to complete something like this. In my perspective, it's as close as superhuman as you can get.
Where's trash? Here. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, this is so confusing. Who designed this shit?
There's the trash there.
Okay.
Lucifer the cat.
It's not so easy to move on the carpet.
All right. Perfect fit. He's got a teacup, and there are mice under Cinderella's dress, and he's poised perfectly to pounce on them.
We're nearly there. Our Disney wish is nearly there.
We'll get it. It's going to take another week or so.
This is opening night for Avengers Quantum Encounter. This is first time we're running it for diners.
Years and years of thinking about this space being real, and now actually seeing it come to life for the very first time with guests coming into it. It's amazing. This is incredible.
Wait till you get the kids' menu.
Oh my goodness, look at
It is a little chaotic right now, putting everything together, but we're excited to sit down at a meal and see what happens.
And this is gonna be the new table number.
It was a crazy start, I gotta say.
It shrank, yeah. It shrank because of the quantum force.
This restaurant, honestly speaking, was given to us yesterday. Things happen very fast. Hello, good evening, welcome. May I have your stateroom number, please? So I have a large team, which totalizes of 78 crew members, and we serve 694 guests in total. Table number 120, please. 120. And we're part of the show, so we're part of the experience. We want to make sure our crew are ready, our crew in place.
Target acquired. Quantum cores are online. Prepare to push your buttons.
Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, activate!
The quantum cores are one of my favorite things that I've gotten to work on from the very beginning.
Pretty sweet, right?
We're actually letting you be a part of that interactive story.
All right, people, it's hero time. When I give the signal, smash your buttons. Hit your buttons now!
Seeing it illuminate and fill the room with all the light that we knew it was going to do, and the dynamic, content it brings, it's perfect.
And later, we're going to have a serious talk about bringing quantum tech to a cruise ship. Look at this crowd. You try keeping their attention. But look, that guy's still eating.
Like everyone laughed at the right moments. The technology worked very well for the first go. So we're just thrilled. We're just thrilled. Yeah. Sigh of relief.
Did you like the show? Yes, she said, yes.
5 years of planning. Pretty crazy to think, like how much has happened over the course of a couple weeks. Been a wild ride.
We never had a dull moment. We had one challenge after the other being thrown at us, and we just kept on going. But we did it.
I never, ever in my wildest dreams ever thought that we would be building the ship while we were going across the Atlantic Ocean. And then it was just unbelievably sudden how, my gosh, we have this ship.
Welcome to the christening of the Disney Wish.
Disney Wish, please welcome aboard the Brown family.
It's so surreal. I can't even believe that it's here.
1, 2, 3.
It's so joyful to just see now all of these people coming on board, being so happy and just becoming kids and giggling. There's nothing more satisfying than that.
There's gradual adjustment every day.
I'll count you in. 3, 2. This space is unlike anything that we've ever done before.
We've been talking to the press, trying to get everyone excited about how we brought this all to life.
Castle on the Seas. That's what this ship is. You walk into that and that sets the tone for everything.
It's been like a crazy whirlwind, but like this is the chance to explain all the stuff and see people enjoying it. This is the fun part. I mean, it's all the fun part, but like this is really the fun part.
It feels like you're just on a slide in the middle of nowhere.
We've been working on this slide for such a long time, and to see guests finally being able to experience it, this is why we do it. Happy people make the world a better place, and if we can get more people on the Aquamask, we can make more people happy.
Oh, I got so. Oh, yeah. That was fantastic.
They got some eggs too.
Yeah, how many eggs?
Yeah.
3.
It is amazing to observe and just seeing Harley play in these spaces. That's one of the reasons why I do what I do. She was 1 year old when I started this project, and a lot of the ideas I put into these spaces are things that we both enjoyed doing together.
I can't believe they let us do this. And they let us do it. And like we're sitting in it.
The minute the curtain goes up, people cheer. Before they even start to sing or dance or do anything. I was like crying, like tears of joy.
And my hope is that that can be felt by anybody that comes on this ship. That all of that magic and care is real.
We were so far behind that I don't even know that I was 100% sure we would get here. And to come out on the other side, to finally hear that applause, it's validation.
And that one goes on. Done. All right. It's all yours. My model. Just 1 year ago, that block came in, right, with the bridge in it, and now we're sailing? Honestly, this was probably the most challenging project that I've ever worked on. But she's a really, really good ship, and that is everything for us.
This was hard. And no one has given up. Just when I see everybody just still doing those last minute things, we have just hours left, that's all.
I think it's gonna hit me tomorrow when I'm really gonna probably break down. Because up to this point, I'm like, no, there's still things I can do.
If like there was infinite time, we would work on this forever. So in the words of Rafiki, it is time.
Tomorrow, we have to leave, but everything that we have envisioned has come true.
You know, the little birdie's flying out of the nest, right? She's gonna fly on her own.
The ship is beautiful, and she is loved already. We are so excited for guests to come aboard. It's time. It's time for the ship to speak for herself.
The following National Geographic Studios program was paid for and produced in collaboration with Disney Cruise Line.
Junkanoo is our spirit, our passion, our love.
On the islands of the Bahamas, Junkanoo is a centuries-old celebration born out of expressions of resistance and freedom.
We are Junkanoo. This is ours.
Today, Junkanoo is spilled into the streets, keeping the tradition alive with costumes made of crepe paper and cardboard, dancing to the rhythms of whistles, drums, and bells.
There is nothing in the entire world like Junkanoo.
And it's that spirit sweeping across the island of Eleuthera. Here, Disney Cruise Line is infusing the magic of the Bahamas into a new destination for its growing fleet of ships.
Everything we do is meant to communicate emotions and ideas.
The first of its kind in 25 years.
Something big starting right here.
Where visitors step ashore to experience Bahamian art.
Ta-da! I'm beyond thrilled.
Music,
Bim!
dance,
You gotta move.
and natural wonders.
We can save nature. It's possible.
You did it. This entire project is about the Bahamas. It's not something that you would see anywhere else.
But infusing the best of the Bahamas into this remote stretch of land is no small feat.
Building on an island is really, really hard.
I just can't go to the hardware store.
And now, the team has only 6 months left till the first ship docks.
Time to make magic.
The moment is finally gone.
Who are we? Who are we?
This is one of my favorite places to come back, man. This is where it all began.
On the southernmost tip of a little-known island of the Bahamas, the Atlantic Ocean breaks along limestone cliffs.
There's a spirit in this place. You feel it, just pulls you in.
This is Lighthouse Point on the island of Eleuthera. 80 miles from Nassau, it's the longest island in the Bahamas. Just 30 feet wide in one spot, it stretches 110 miles down to Lighthouse Point.
This has always been such a magnificent view.
For the past 5 years, Bahamian artist Kevin Cooper and Disney Imagineer Kevin Thomas have been part of an ambitious undertaking here. Disney Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point.
Disney Cruise Line had been searching for its new port of call for decades. As our fleet grows, we knew we were going to need yet another destination where the ships can make that journey from Florida within a day. And we were able to find this magnificent location.
Lighthouse Point really has a mood that's full of story, these spectacular, surreal forms all along the edges of the cliffs.
Joe Rohde is a former Disney Imagineer and one of the creators behind countless Disney destinations. He helped craft the vision of Disney Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point during the design phase.
This is the kind of stuff that you just can't design.
Lighthouse Point definitely has a feeling that you get from being in it. So when we started Disney Lookout Key, that became a design thing. How can we protect the quality of this place while at the same time doing something here that will change it?
In pursuit of that goal, the team turned to the people of the Bahamas.
It's not uncommon for local people to be very skeptical and suspicious of a big company coming into their space. But if you're open to collaborating, then we will find something together that will express our common values together. We started to find out where are the artists, where are the storytellers that would be both comfortable and willing in collaborating with us. Kevin Cooper was one of the first.
I wanted to be a part of the change that's happening here, to be a part of the process of creating from the very beginning.
One of the most important people we met is Antonius Roberts, who's a preeminent artist in the Bahamas.
Bahamians make every effort to protect this paradise. I saw it as an opportunity to engage in meaningful conversations about preservation.
We started building a network of artists with whom we could talk about this idea of art as a way of letting culture speak universally.
It mimics the reef if you want to dive.
And the place itself would be the art. And through that art, they would get the messages and the feeling and the voice of the local people.
I enhanced the colors, I enhanced the details. Just, you notice even like the conch shells.
The pineapple is still my favorite though.
From these conversations, a uniquely Bahamian plan emerged, featuring cultural pavilions and spaces for music and nature.
We let our architecture be inspired by the shapes of the land and by the things that live on the land. Leaves, seashells, bird wings, by the undulating shape of the sand.
Less than 20% of the 900-acre site would be developed, with a nature trail, areas for kids and families, and just for adults. All designed on 3 main pillars.
One, the water, the sea life. Another was the land. And of course, there are different plants and animals that reside on this beautiful location. And then finally, that of culture. We've been able to use all of that to draw inspiration.
In 2022, construction began. Now, with just 6 months left till the first ship comes into port, all eyes are on the push to the finish line.
Camp starts to come alive around 6 a.m. I start my day very early because that's the time I have to be by myself and check the construction site. With that rain last night and the way the cloud cover is this morning, I'm not sure we're going to be doing too much today. That hurts.
Weather delays are part of any job, but building on an island this remote is a whole new experience.
That's a whole nother wrinkle that most people don't have to deal with when you're on a mainland project. Everything we get on this island comes by boat. The ocean says we have 5-foot seas, the ship doesn't sail.
Before starting the main construction phase, they had to build all the needed infrastructure from the ground up.
It's the first time building a full, essentially township with electric, water, and all the buildings that go with it, because we normally have a city that we're tying into for our infrastructure.
Then came the next hurdle, building the pier that would welcome thousands of people to the island every docking.
When we were working through the pier design, we worked very closely with our environmental partners.
The result is an open trestle pier that can anchor a 144,000-ton ship with minimal environmental impact.
The pier is unique in as far as like the distance from the shore. We did that on purpose so that we wouldn't have to dredge the seabed.
To safely dock, a cruise ship needs the water to be at least 30 to 50 feet deep. by placing a pier far enough out to reach that depth. The team avoided disturbing some of the marine life from any dredging closer to shore.
We're very mindful of how we're impacting the environment and trying to minimize that. Hey, Dave.
Angela, how are you?
What we're building here is entirely self-sustaining.
Behind the scenes, a miniature city is being engineered to sustainably power all of the guest spaces.
We have our solar farms back there that power over 90% of the electricity generated on our project.
More than 6 acres of panels were installed.
We also have our biodigesters and incinerators and our wastewater treatment plant. There's a lot back there.
I know we got a lot of work left, but
We can do it.
We're gonna get there.
All right, get back to work.
See ya.
Show us the way, Bernadette.
Just a few miles away from the construction site, another production is underway.
Oh my goodness! Oh, with the conch shells.
So we've been doing a little work here and there.
Oh, it's beautiful already.
These are beautiful.
The Disney Live Entertainment team, TJ Tuckerio and Chris Burnell, are working closely with local performers to dream up a show inspired by Junkanoo.
Junkanoo emanated from our ancestors in the country of Ghana in Africa, which then was traversed to the Bahamas. It brings you back to the history of why we are where we are. We have that feeling, that spirit, that passion that exudes when we adorn a costume, that when you hear that music, that when you feel that rush, that when you know it's coming.
It's that rush TJ and Chris are hoping to tap into for the music, dance, and art at Disney Lookout Key.
We can infuse that sound and cultural significance in everything that we're doing. Now we want to hear the music.
Yeah, now we want to hear the
Let's go hear the music.
You're ready for it.
Alvin Johnson has been a Junkanoo performer for almost 50 years. As the group's leader, he's helped recruit Eleuthero's top talent.
The music these guys going to bring is going to be just matching it.
Today is the first time TJ and Chris get to see and hear what they've been up to.
You have a whole camaraderie of formidable, passionate Junkanoos who participate, and they express their participation through their musical instruments.
Puts me in a zone. It's like a spirit. It puts me in that place where I just feel the spirit or just music.
I am more excited than ever before. Seeing the costumes and then hearing the music, I'm beyond thrilled.
Alvin and his group now have only a few months left to finalize the show.
Our next big challenge is going to be moving the parade to the performance space that's being built at Disney Lookout Key.
We know for sure that, you get it done. You gotta definitely get it done. You confident?
All right, we're here.
Hey, Bradley. Welcome to the Bahamas.
In the pre-dawn hours, a team of scientists is reuniting. Their focus is a main conceptual pillar at Disney Lookout Key: conservation.
Different birds.
Oh yeah. All right, should we do it? Let's go get it. Let's get it. At Disney Lookout Key, we have prioritized minimizing our environmental footprint.
So Disney Cruise Line partnered with Disney's Animals, Science, and Environment Conservation team to monitor wildlife and help reduce any impact from development.
Ready? Let's go.
Bahamian biologists Pachancia Knowles and Bradley Watson joined the Disney team to lead the charge.
Going that way.
Okay, I'll follow you then.
Alrighty. Got some friendly plants and some not so friendly plants.
So in the Bahamas, our forests are called coppice because they grow so tightly.
Thick Bahamian coppice is an ideal habitat for a wide variety of birds, including dozens of migratory species that stop in Eleuthera each year.
We want to make sure that all of those species continue to make use of this property through the years to come.
We want to determine if there's any changes in local bird abundances, and that's going to let us know how we should manage those areas to keep the birds there.
Most of the birds have never been tracked on Eleuthera before now. The work not only protects the birds' home, but also adds to the Bahamian story at Disney Lookout Key.
My job is to entertain people with nature. I really like to think about using Disney Lookout Key as a hub for connections between our guests and nature. And we can hear the very first Bahama mockingbird calling right now, so it's a bit of a race against time to get this net up.
So we're setting up 8 mixed nets. Bradley, what's the distance between each net?
Pretty much separate them by at least 40 meters, so
Right.
yeah.
It's like to work with Bradley, especially in the field, because we both have strengths and weaknesses, and I think we balance each other out.
But Chancy and I have been working together for a while, and she is actually, trained as a marine biologist, really indebted to her as a partner.
What would you say is his most favorite bird species?
Bradley's favorite bird species, it could either be the Kirtland's warbler, but I might want to go with Bahama yellowthroat just because I think he have a special love for endemics. Hey Bradley, am I right or wrong? What's your favorite bird species?
Well, I owe a lot to the Kirtland's warbler because that was my first bird. But for this trip, let's focus on native birds. Let's focus on, Bahama yellowthroat. So those are my favorites right now.
Nice.
Did you guess those?
Yeah, those are my top 2.
So you're telling me I'm not mysterious? No? It's an open book?
I wouldn't say that. You have a lot of plot twists to you,
Now that the nets and the sun are up, they monitor the perimeter closely for any captured birds.
Every 20 minutes we walk this transect so that they're not stressed out or staying in the net for too long.
We still have a bananaquit that tried to fly straight through.
A native Bahamian species called a bananaquit is the first bird of the day.
There we go. Oh, yes. Free bird.
Every bird netted during the Disney Lookout Key site survey gets measured, weighed, and banded for tracking.
So this is exciting. This bird here was captured previously, and so we call it a recap.
When a bird is a recapture, like this native thick-billed vireo.
Oh, it was hatched here?
Yeah.
They can compare size and weight to prior surveys.
Now we can say, how has he progressed in life?
So this is huge. What is
Yeah.
happening right now is literally the future of how we age birds, at this site.
That's
Pretty
awesome.
amazing. It's really cool.
63.
Okay. Last year it was 62.
This is what builds the basis of our knowledge of the birds of an area. Here we
History
go.
in the making.
Something big starting right here.
It also allows us to figure out why birds are doing well as if there are things that we can do to help birds do even better in different parts of our property.
Bird is healthy and happy. Well, healthy at least. I will slowly remove my hand and let him sit there for a moment until he's ready to go. Our goal is that people find enjoyment in the natural habitats at Disney Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. The more biodiversity we have and the more people we have viewing that biodiversity, the better off our society will be.
Oh, there you go.
From his studio in Nassau,
And then, of course, you probably walk through that green space there.
Bahamian artist Antonius Roberts has his own role to play in the conservation story at Disney Lookout Key.
When we talk about preservation, it's important for people who come here to understand that part of that is not only through art and culture, but our way of life.
Antonius Roberts was one of the more skeptical people who really needed to see real evidence that something was going to happen here that wasn't just a run-of-the-mill opportunity.
This is my little temple. This is my contemplative space. My specialty is, in fact, working with wood, in particular, because the trees are part of our history, part of our story. And maybe that's why I feel so deeply rooted.
That sense of place is exactly what he hopes to convey with the signature sculpture he's creating for Disney Lookout Key.
I thought it was important for me to create a piece that encompassed and embodied the whole story of preservation.
His inspiration came from a tree that had fallen naturally on the construction site.
I thought, oh, can we just take that tree and put it back? Install it back into the environment so it can symbolize the fact that you truly appreciate this tree, this center place. So I wanted that piece to represent that.
Antonius moved the tree to his studio, where he began the next phase of sculpting.
What we are trying to do is a form of storytelling. Everything we do is meant to communicate emotions and ideas.
And traditions. Bahamian straw work, or plaiting, is a weaving technique brought from Africa and passed down through generations.
Okay, he has asked for a fish. He chose the Bahamian spiderweb.
There are more than 60 styles of weave throughout the islands. Husband and wife, Philip and Portia Kemp, have been crafting traditional Bahamian artwork for years.
Okay, start to mark it out.
They'll soon have a greater audience when their plaiting pieces go on display in the guest spaces.
So that is the fish. And now comes the fun part.
I found some shells at the beach. Use it for the eye of the fish.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. You found shells. The pieces that we create, both of us work on them.
We would try and see who can make the best design.
Yes.
And she always thought that she was always on top, but I beat up you that.
I am. If we have a number of these to do, he'll be cutting the strips, so I don't have to stop and wait. Got to keep him busy to keep him awake, you see.
The Kemps have a skill set in working with the different plats.
Hello, Kevin. And how are you?
Doing wonderful. How are you?
Wonderful.
We just wanted to give them the platform to create this expression of their own, to share at Disney Lookout Key.
And now the moment
yes.
that you have been waiting for.
Wow. One up to John Canoe head pieces here.
Fantastic work. They really kind of push the limits a little bit so that they're developing things that are really new and unique. These turned out so nice. So excited to share these.
John Canoe.
Back at the survey site, it's the team's last day of fieldwork before guests arrive. As part of their research for Disney Lookout Key, they're holding out for a prize find.
Top of our list of birds is the great lizard cuckoo, because there's not much known about it in the Bahamas. It's extremely intelligent, and it moves through the bush not by flying, in direct paths, but by hopping from tree to tree. It's very difficult for you to fool this bird.
Capturing a great lizard cuckoo today would provide key conservation data about this native bird.
It all helps us to put the puzzle together to understand how can we help these species reproduce and continue with a successful population rate.
It's eluded them so far.
She just yelled.
He yelled?
Yeah. Was that her?
Let's go up there and see if we can get it into the net.
She is yelling. I hope we got a bird.
I'm excited. Oh, down, dude.
Go, go, go.
Put it down, put it down.
All right. Go, 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 go. I'm like violently shaking right now. My heart rate's like 100. Let's get a tag on it, Nancy.
It's their first ever great lizard cuckoo.
Plus no signs of stress.
All right. Magnet off to turn the tag on.
They attach a tracking device that a nearby sensor station will detect, providing brand new data on how a great lizard cuckoo moves throughout the area.
This is a unique opportunity to understand and investigate species that we don't know much about. Disney Lookout Key guests are going to have the chance to see some of these species firsthand, live and in person, if they come and visit our property.
I'm gonna release the bird right now. Okay, buddy. I'm releasing you, okay? Your bird has no signs of stress. All right, and 3, 2, 1. Amazing. We did it.
Through their efforts, Disney Lookout Key will remain a place animals, as well as people, will migrate to again and again.
I'm crying. I got so excited. This is a great milestone for us.
we're all working towards conservation as a team. The Bahamas is built on its natural resources. So the work that we do is of the utmost importance for our country.
Please keep your hands clear of any pinch points. Easiest way to not get hurt.
John Huff and the construction team are working alongside the new pier that will soon carry Disney Cruise Line guests from the ship to the island. But today, the focus is on the underwater residents.
We are actually setting up for some underwater fish habitats that our environmental team has put together out of natural limestone rock, and we're going to set those on the seafloor so that the fish, as we finish construction, have a place to migrate and hide in the natural rock formations.
The pier's open trestle design allows for continued flow of water that won't block tidal movement and will help sustain marine life.
We tried to build in features to make the infrastructure more fish-friendly and to create a bit of a fish migration corridor to help them get under and through the trestle structure.
Environmental scientist Phil Kramer independently monitors marine life around Disney Lookout Key and is doing some heavy lifting to encourage it. Each of these giant slabs weighs between 3,000 to 8,000 pounds.
These limestone here are about 120,000 years old. So these naturally were located here at the Lighthouse Point site. We're going to cluster them into groups of 3 or 4 on the seabed.
The hope is that these will act as reefs, attracting fish and other marine life, including endangered soft and hard coral.
Coral reefs are massive reservoirs of marine biodiversity, and without coral reefs, you'd have a huge loss to the planet's life in general.
The amount of coral is declining because of global warming. It's the way that the world is right now, and this is happening across the Bahamas and the rest of the Caribbean.
From the beginning, Disney Lookout Key's conservation efforts have prioritized preserving coral. At a site nearby, they're even trying to grow and repair it in nurseries. These live fragments hang suspended, benefiting from better water circulation and protection from sea floor predators.
We're going to do anything we can to preserve the coral.
Back at the pier, that means lowering some 200 tons of fish and coral habitats onto the ocean floor. In this flat stretch of ocean floor, the stone slabs are a popular attraction.
After only 10 minutes, we had dozens of fish trying to move in, so it really doesn't take long for them to realize there's a new hotel in town.
And over the next 5 days, the team will continue to install even more, covering over 500 square feet of ocean floor around the pier.
We're adding back natural limestone structure, which essentially is the lifeblood that supports a whole cascade of marine biodiversity.
If it works, Disney Lookout Key's underwater stage will have a whole new cast of characters.
So, it's been a while since we've been out here.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man.
With only a month left until the first guests arrive, the Kevins get a preview of the final design elements at the guest pavilions.
What's beautiful is the variety of colors. I never thought it would have been this dramatic.
It's been a long journey from where they set out to do when they first met 5 years ago, from building a team of 9 local artists to seeing their concepts come to life. Like the bright-colored murals inspired by original art by Bahamian painter Dorman Stubbs.
Oh my gosh, look at the pavilions.
Or the stretched textile prints created from the work of another Bahamian artist, Keyshawn Monroe.
Love his colors.
At the Cabanas, unique contributions from all the artists are on full display, including carved wood panels modeled after the designs of Andret John.
On the door as well?
Okay. Oh, wow. Yes.
Look at that. It really turned out nice, I think.
As a painter himself, Kevin has been working on wall art for the Cabana interiors.
All the art that's here has been inspired locally. From the curly-tailed lizard to the crab, the conch shell, the grape leaf.
We've been able to infuse this artistry, this storytelling, into the overall environment that we've created here. Ta-da!
Kevin Thomas isn't just focused on the sights of Disney Lookout Key, but also on the sounds.
Essential Bahamian guitar part happening here. And it sounds this good, so that's a good sign.
He's working with locally based music producer Chris Chesniak to finalize the welcome song for Disney Lookout Key.
One more time for me, Dora?
Yes.
Just a little bit loose.
With the help of Bahamian musicians, they're bringing traditional sounds into the track.
Next take. All right. Next take. And then you got a full cowbell ensemble.
It really works.
Yeah.
One of the biggest challenges, we love the sound. It's like, how are we going to capture that? And I think you've done that here.
Break, Scrape, and Junkanoo is our music, our traditional music. There's so many elements. It's guitars, it's drums, it's percussion instruments like the scraper. It's some bells, it's horns, anything that you could bring in it just to make noise and have a good time.
Jeremiah is also on vocals.
Everything good, everything fine. Lucha is something for everyone. Everything good, everything fine. Here it is, Lucha, the land of sunshine. Bim!
Yes, the BIM.
Hear the sounds of the Junkanoo.
It's just one of the original tracks designed to set the mood at Disney Lookout Key.
See fields of pineapples.
At the site, it's the final countdown. For the Junkanoo group, today is their most important dress rehearsal yet.
The moment has finally come. This is what we all wanted. This is like happening.
For months, they've been practicing every move to make good on the promise to deliver a Junkanoo rush with every performance.
Make it swing, boy. Try to get them to go as soon as we can.
This will be the first time they rehearse at the newly finished Goombay Cultural Center.
Biggest hurdle is going to be being in this space all together, same time.
Time to make magic.
Fun! This is brand new. You press play and see what happens. You ready, man? Yeah, so good. Dance.
Not only does the group have to get used to moving through the pavilion space, they also have some new performance.
That's it, Donald. We're still in the rehearsal process.
Are they okay? Yeah. Okay.
Layering everything in.
So I feel like definitely the box is both in the center. Pull them in the center more to feel that shape.
Finding out what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah! Good. Paula, you ready, girl?
TJ and Alvin's performers have little time left to fine-tune the show for the first guest's arrival.
We have to do a few things in this space. Mickey and Minnie, can I switch you spots? Can you come to the middle? You're great. Come right over here.
Yep, that's good.
Of course, we have a few things we want to work on. but ultimately, this turned out better than we could have ever imagined.
Good job, everyone. Happy to see you. Heartbreaker scoring. Just happy to be here.
Hey guys, welcome.
Morning, Phil. How are you?
How's it going?
We are ready to go.
Today, we are actually going to begin our end of construction marine monitoring.
You guys feeling good today?
Good morning, Bradley.
Good morning, Heather.
Here you go. Thank you.
The time has come to see if the new fish hotels are a success. If the structures have worked to attract marine life, they'll start using them for coral restoration.
Okay, well, let's do it.
Yeah, cleared.
Right away, we could see that these fish habitats were not only populated, but the fish abundance was higher than we had seen in this same area before the trestle.
To see a lot of the yellowtail snappers, some of the grouper species, it was great to see that they've already, after 2 months, called that home.
They identify over 30 native species around the habitats, including some rarely seen in this location.
So we have two things going on. You have a lot of structure that these fish rely on. And then we add the coral because we want to preserve the biodiversity of this site.
Loose corals are secured one by one to the limestone.
This is like putting a crown on the whole thing.
Over time, as the coral grows, it will attract more diverse sea life to this area, which in turn will help the coral survive. We're also checking the nearby coral nursery.
We have to maintain these coral nurseries and limit the amount of algae growing on them. And we do that by cleaning them. These are fast-growing corals. Within 6 months to a year, you can harvest some propagules that you will go out and outplant, and then that coral that's still left on the nursery will grow back again for you to come back the following year to harvest from. This isn't our last trip out here. We're committed to this site.
Bradley and Pachancia will remain on site to support the island ecosystems long after the first ship has docked.
We've been ideating about ways we can integrate operations at Disney Lookout Cay with conservation. I want our guests to leave with a story that we can save nature, it's possible and worth trying. Now is the time for us to deliver on all these great ideas.
Good job today, guys. Let's take the slow boat back home.
The push is on to put everything in place.
Let's go.
The end is always the busiest. That's when all the little details start going into place.
Angela Wu and Disney teammate Dave Cheradana are going through their final punch list.
Do you want to head down to Sebastian's Cove?
Saw some updates, so steel's all set.
Mm-hmm.
Looking like fabric installs like going.
They're working on it right now. They're almost done. I love the signs on the buildings. Those are good.
Really make the buildings pop.
Yeah.
The last little finishing touches.
At the tram stop, Antonius's tree sculpture crowns the site.
It's here.
Wow, look at that.
The beacon made it. Yeah, Antonius, this is really...
They placed it where the people will get off to walk. When guests experience my art, I hope they learn more about this place we call the Bahamas.
So the rest of this space, such a celebration of the Bahamian culture. This is one of my favorites. Our really cool door carvings.
Yeah, they turned out really well.
You can see it resembles a Mickey.
You're always scrambling, trying to make sure that everything is perfect. You only get one chance at a first impression.
It's definitely come a long way.
And just in time, too. There's only 24 hours left until the first ship pulls into port. Opening day has finally arrived, with the ship on the horizon. Kevin steals a few moments before the rush.
There's always a spirit here. It's wonderful to share a part of Illusion for the guests to see. This is Bahamian. Disney's made it work.
From concept to installation, it's debut time.
The project actually celebrates not only our environment, but it celebrates the essence of who we are as a people.
We have been enjoying every single moment of it.
It's a bit of a surreal feeling seeing it from the ground up to actually seeing our first ship. I'm excited.
One of the best moments on any Disney project is when the first guest walks off that ship.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Let the celebration begin!
Everything they did at Disney Lookout Key is meant to get you to feel something and think something. It's not forceful. It's invitational. It's beautiful.
They all gonna remember what the experience here today.
It beckons you to pay attention and to look and listen.
Come to Illusion for a holiday.
For opening day, Jeremiah and his band are putting on a special live performance.
We're really hoping that some of these songs create that little earworm, something that they'll hum, something that they'll just kind of have in their mind. The inspiration behind this was to really celebrate the Bahamas.
It's people and nature, with the three pillars that we've designed from: the culture, the water, the land.
We can all be very proud
that we've been able to achieve that.
The Great Desert Cuckoo is one that you may not see, but you just might hear it.
At the nature trail Bradley and Pachancia helped design, Eleuthera's wildlife is on full display.
This work is so important for the Bahamas because we need every individual to have a connection to nature for us to have nature into the future.
So much work, time, effort has gone into this place. And to see the spirit, is magic.
Junkanoo has served as a great inspiration for so much of what we've done. That beautiful pageantry is established in a lot of the places that the guests see.
Even though you're not from the Bahamas, that's okay, because once you feel the pulsation of the beat, you have no other feeling.
Who are we? Who are we?
It was a smashing hit.
They're gonna remember the energy that we brought, the organic Junkanoo.
I know the journey that our Junkanoo artists have taken with us, that was emotional for me.
Guests can enjoy Disney Lookout Key for its color. They can enjoy it for its sophistication. They can enjoy it for its cultural meaning, where people have this sense of who are they among when they come to this place.
A place that celebrates the spirit of the people and the islands they call home.
Wow, the Bahamas represents excellence, possibilities.
Diversity, culture, and me.
The place of pace-setting transcenders.
One of the greatest places in the whole entire world.
And something that's worth saving, worth talking about, and worth sharing.
Here in Lucha, till land of sunshine, bim!
This National Geographic program was paid for and produced in collaboration with Disney Cruise Line.
5, 6, 7, rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We're about halfway through our tech rehearsal for Disney, The Tale of Moana, implementing all the sets, the costumes, the lighting, the puppetry.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So think up, down. Or up, in. That's it, yeah.
Moana's embarking on a brand new voyage in a floating theater on the high seas.
6, 7, 8. Good. Right when I start counting, you can make your way to like 24, 22 at the edge of the stage. It really is very much an action-adventure story. It is a circus in a really fun way.
What next? A shark? One shark coming up.
It's all happening.
It's just one of many elaborate productions underway.
Awaken the spirits.
Still work in progress.
As Disney Cruise Line prepares to launch its newest vessel, the Disney Treasure.
Let's get ready.
We're starting all thrusters.
With the bold promise of adventure.
Here we go.
Not only throughout the world, but to places in your imagination.
We make the fantastical real.
It is dozens and dozens of spaces and stories and experiences that are full of surprises.
Years in the making, every detail is designed, constructed, and rooted in cultures of the world.
The process is mind-blowing.
Dinner in Plaza de Coco starts in Mexico City.
They will play mariachi music?
Of course.
Así, bravo!
Moana's stage debut
One more time.
looks to the traditions of Polynesia.
God of the ocean, hear me now.
And special effects experts
We have a full 3D world.
summon spirits of the past.
Time is ticking, not just the ghost clock.
Hundreds of people must now come together
Kind of a crazy day today.
to bring to life beloved Disney stories
Give me your best grito.
and set the stage for a high seas adventure.
Places, everyone.
My name is Marco Nogara, and I'm going to be the first captain of the Disney Treasure.
Captain Marco comes from a long line of mariners.
I was born and raised in Venice. My family has been Venetian approximately for 1,000 years. There is no cars in Venice, only boats. I grew up with boats. It is in my blood. Since I was young, I had the same desire to navigate and to explore the world.
So it's only fitting that he's about to take the helm of a much bigger vessel. At the Meyer-Werft shipyard in Papenburg, Germany, the Disney Treasure has been under construction since the first steel cutting in 2023. As the last block slides into place, the ship is nearing its final form.
It's going to be my 16th ship as a captain. To see the ship being constructed from the beginning is a great feeling. I think she's beautiful.
But no Disney Cruise Line ship is complete until the signature sculptures take their place on the stern.
On the back of all our ships, our stern characters provide a bit of comedy and reflect the theme of the ship. The theme of the Disney Treasure, that's adventure. So our stern characters are Captain Hook and Peter Pan, because they're all about these swashbuckling adventures.
I run him through.
We start off with a few pencil sketches.
That Walt Disney Animation Studios transforms into 3D models. and then prints as small prototypes. And finally, scales up to full size.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Wow. Oh, my God.
huge,
Hook
right?
is so big.
I know it. I know it.
Creating Peter Pan and Hook as the spirit of adventure to represent this new Disney cruise ship is so fantastic. And
Yeah.
is this their true distance from one another?
This is. So this is 16 feet between that drip and that drip.
While Laura's team dreams up the creative themes,
oh, they look so good.
Rogers Group oversees the transition of a character from screen to ship.
Scurvy brat! Thank you, Captain. Come down, boy, if you've a taste for cold steel. What is ready?
We want to make sure that we're really capturing the essence of that character. Is he looking at Hook, or is he looking at the name of the ship? Because right now he's looking at the name of the ship. I'd like to try, since we're here, having him look at Hook, and let's just see how it feels.
All right.
That looks good.
You know, he's that little mischievous kid, right? He'll never grow up. I kind of feel like they're my children. You know, I want them to go out in the world and look their best and be themselves, and that you feel that when you see them.
With Pan and Hook in place, it's time to transform the spaces within. From stern to bow, there's less than a year to get it all done.
We want the ship to really feel as if you're very organically making your way through stories in a way that still feels connected to that core theme of adventure. For us, it's this idea of going places we've never been, exploring cultures we've never seen.
In the Walt Disney Theater, the build-out has begun for 3 different shows, including the first stage adaptation of the animated film Moana. But capturing a girl's heroic journey against all odds is a daunting task.
The opportunity to bring that to the stage and deliver on the spectacular images from the film is a really exciting challenge.
People will be able to be in the water, be in the islands, be in that environment. It's going to be amazing.
While Moana's stage is being set in Germany, 2 oceans away, her musical story is finding its rhythm.
Can you try something? At the beginning of each set, can you roll into it? Vroom. We are in a series of recording sessions that will get the first pieces down of the musical score for Disney, The Tale of Moana. Kanjing, 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 kambring. I'm from the Pacific, and so the story obviously rings true for me. A story that connects people to the land and to the ocean through this one young lady who has no fear.
Now, can we put some other stuff on? Can we move around a little bit?
Let's go to percussion.
We are in Hawaii because we wanted Hawaiian musicians.
We have a pahu, which is a traditional drum played by hand. We have an ipuheke, which is a gourd. What we need, first of all, is the bedrock of the show. That Moana is first and foremost a Pacific Islander.
Let's do a shaker pass. Yep.
The music is still the music that we know and love from the film, but in adapting it to a new language, we give it its own identity.
Done. Beautiful.
With the new tracks complete, the team moves to a Disney Cruise Line studio in Toronto to start rehearsals with the full cast.
Okay, shake it out again. Bend your knees, move your hips.
Between Connor and I, we find ways of telling this magical, amazing story with some movement and try to give it a Pacific Island lens, but also that artistry of Broadway.
Good. Can we go to the same place?
Consider the coconut. The what? Consider its tree. This is part of the coconut.
have several different languages and styles of movement, and we have experts from each department to weigh in and to collaborate.
All right, let's try that.
This is the first time we've had our puppet prototypes we've been developing for years in the room.
Now I know I can be happy as a clown because I'm beautiful, baby.
We're doing things with these puppets that we haven't really done on any of our ships.
SWAT! Wait, and then I can look at it. One more time.
We're dealing with a lot of large-scale puppetry.
Like Moana's arch villain, the monster Te Kā, that takes 4 actors to manipulate.
Better.
When you're trying to move something of large scale, it becomes that much more difficult to really breathe life into that.
It's a very, very complicated show to get up on its feet.
Have you ever seen so many piles of coconuts?
I don't think I have.
My name is Kaenona Lani Kikoa. I play Moana. I am from Hawaii, born and raised in Honolulu. I hope that when people come to this show that they feel the sense of ohana, of family. Your community, it comes first.
We know the way. Ha!
Really good. It's really because it's so good. And I'm so homesick. Because it's so good. I wonder what it might be like for you if you were to move in meaning rather than choreography. Tatou is a really important word because tatou includes all of the audience. And everybody here. So I feel like as you're going, tatou tangata folau, all of you people who sail on the ocean, that's everybody in the room. Bala'auina, let's gather and be together. Eleatua ole sami tele, the God of the ocean, hear me now. And really sort of embody that. And we want to challenge you to go further. Can we try again? Yeah. They'll continue polishing, and next time I see the production will be on the ship itself.
Back in Europe, Captain Marco and his crew are doing their own rehearsals.
Manhattan Traffic Control, Manhattan Traffic Control. This is Disney Treasure, Channel 10.
The tugboat is pushing.
This is Disney Treasure. Stop pushing. Stop pushing.
Put the 60 revolution on 2.
60 on 2.
It's a training exercise. Captain Marco runs the scenarios at the Simulation Center in Rotterdam.
Do you have a central vision now?
Yes, I do, Cap.
This state-of-the-art facility has accurate ship models, a full navigation bridge, and 360-degree projections.
The thruster is 50% to starboard.
50 to starboard.
Today, the team is docking in New York City, one of the busiest, tightest harbors in the world.
All right, let's do it.
This training will soon be put to the test
Disney Treasure standing by, Channel 1.
when the real Disney Treasure arrives in New York City for its official christening celebration.
Set up for 60 revolution.
60 RPM.
The current is heavy, it's going to push eventually toward the dock. The arrival in New York is a kind of tricky because of the strong current. Alia, 0942 stand by below, 4 thrusters required.
As chief officer, Alia is in charge of docking.
0942, stand by below.
Agree?
This is Disney Treasure, Channel 16.
Yes, bridge, go ahead.
You always need to understand what's the priority number one at that moment and just maintaining a clear picture and a calm situation all the time.
We have to go here. So we have to put the bow right on the 90.
Maneuvering a 1,000-foot-long ship calls on precise calculation and flawless teamwork.
Okay, out of turn zone 0 now. Controls on the starboard wing.
90 meters to go, Captain.
Ship is coming nicely alongside. We're good, 0.1 going to the dock, so it's good.
Check, check.
All stations, end of exercise, end of exercise.
Okay. Very good job, Alia.
Thank you.
Simulation complete. Captain and crew are ready to take it live.
Yeah, done.
In Papenburg, the Disney Treasure floats out of the shipyard for the first and last time. But inside, it's still crunch time. There are only a few months left to make good on the promise of adventure and surprise.
We are in the Haunted Mansion parlor here on the Disney Treasure.
Ready, set.
For the first time ever, our guests will experience spaces inspired by theme park attractions.
Yes, I think the sconces are out as they turn on during the lightning flash.
Danny Hankey is another one of our very talented storytellers. He is a big kid at heart.
You're right. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, no.
And now, Danny and his team are conjuring up a bar and lounge based on the Haunted Mansion, where Madame Leota's seance summons a variety of spectral apparitions.
When I worked at Disneyland almost 19 years ago, I was a butler at the Haunted Mansion. So then to come here on the Disney Treasure and bring a whole new version of Haunted Mansion to life is just a dream come true for me.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host.
To reimagine the iconic attraction, they first looked to ghosts of the past and to the original Haunted Mansion that opened at Disneyland in 1969. Back then, Imagineers had worked nearly 2 decades to bring the dead back to life. With the support of Walt Disney himself.
Mark Davis is the master of illusion. This is Medusa, is a very beautiful girl. She offended the goddess Athena, and as a result, Athena turned her into a Gorgon. And as you may know, if you looked at a Gorgon would turn you into stone.
Well, we sure don't want that to happen.
Now, those classic paintings, the light fixtures and wallpaper, even the music and sound.
Beware of hitchhiking ghosts.
Are getting a new lease on life.
Just like the ride, we have to beware of hitchhiking ghosts. And they will appear in the mirror. They will see if they can follow you to your stateroom.
There's a whole mythology we created just for this parlor. The sea captain is about to be married, and then something goes wrong. And the secret is held inside the ghost fish tank.
A ghost fish tank is a decades-old idea that has never materialized. Until now.
We wanted a signature centerpiece that is not in any other Haunted Mansion, and we went to the archives and looked through all the old drawings.
One drawing jumped out. A 1965 sketch by legendary Imagineer Rolly Crump of an aquarium inhabited by ghost fish.
They didn't really have the tech back then in the mid-1960s to pull off such an effect. Nowadays we do.
They went to work testing out a prototype.
Awesome. The ghost fish has to be visible from both sides, which is really, really difficult.
But like any good illusionist, Daniel is not giving up his tricks.
That's the magician's code. But I can say it's really cool how optics and liquids work together.
After years of trial and error, they're filling up the ghost fish aquarium for its big debut.
When you walk in, it'll look like a real fish tank. There'll be bubbles, but then the ghost fish will appear and disappear.
But spirits won't awaken till countless details are perfected.
Time is ticking, not just the ghost clock. There's just a lot of work to do before we are show ready.
As spaces come alive all over the ship.
What I really love to do is to take you to a place you've never been before.
In Plaza de Coco,
Oh my gosh.
Danny's team is recreating another iconic world for the very first time.
It's amazing.
Where dinner and a show will transport guests into the animated film Coco.
This is really neat to be able to create something like this and make it worthy of the name Coco.
They're continuing the story of Miguel Rivera and his quest to bring music to his family in the land of the living and the dead.
You're walking through the Rivera family house into Mariachi Plaza, where it's an outdoor space. We started on this almost 5 years ago with the folks at Pixar.
As we were designing the Plaza de Coco space, it was so fun to just dive into all those details. The furniture, the flatware, the dishes, and of course the food are all part of that storytelling.
The ofrenda. Oh my, I haven't seen this in person yet.
The Rivera's ofrenda is based on a long tradition in Mexico, honoring deceased loved ones on Dia de los Muertos.
Being part of this family means being here for this family.
This replica will greet guests as they enter the restaurant.
Our job at first is to kind of set the placemaking, right?
But how do we give you the feeling of warmth of being invited by the Rivera family?
That's where our entertainment team comes into play.
As a Mexican American with Mexican parents, to know that I'm leading the charge and directing this beautiful experience, it's really, really special.
In search of talent and culture, Juan returned to the very place that shaped the movie.
We are in the middle of Mexico City. I'm looking forward to just being inspired by the textures, the colors, all of that vibrancy, and make sure that it makes its way into Plaza de Coco.
To fully immerse guests into the world of Coco, Juan will bring in traditional Mexican mariachi music.
Buenas tardes. ¿Podemos?
Sí, cómo no.
Mariachi is played on distinct-sized guitars.
Se hace para todo tipo de
Sí, nos enseñaron mis abuelos y mis papás.
From the smaller vihuela
Requinto, vihuela,
to the much larger guitarrón.
The whole point of Plaza de Coco is you're coming to have dinner with the Rivera family. And so I want people to feel that warmth, that special moment, like they were at my mom's house, at my abuela's house.
Juan will take this inspiration back to the ship, where he'll lead rehearsals in just a few months. Back in Germany, inside a studio in Hamburg, Moana's Pacific Island is starting to take root.
This is the best part, where we get to see all of the scenic pieces that we've been working on for the last couple of years. This is the point where we get to actually touch it and see how it works.
It's beautiful. My name is Milagros Ponce de Leon. I created every single element that you see, from the big props, the island, the nature, the textures.
What's your first impression?
It's looking amazing.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. The first challenge was to create an island that was fun to look at, good to light. So we have all of these portals that mimic the visuals of the island and have the textures, the lashing, the bamboo, all the colors, just to contain the space. But then the island opens up. We are going to go on a real journey.
At the center of it all is Moana's trusty outrigger canoe. State-of-the-art projection will create the illusion that it's moving through water. Just like in the movie.
Yeah, you can too.
Yeah, it feels awesome.
And then the oar.
Yeah,
It's bigger than a baseball bat.
They can just whittle it down.
Right? This size is right.
Yeah, where that needs to go.
I found pictures from a nautical museum that has a really amazing collection of navigation and canoes. I try to ground myself on those images that I find so that they feel legitimate to the place and the storytelling.
They'll continue to refine the set before all the pieces are sent off to the Disney Treasure, which is its own production.
Morning. How are you? Why is it so cold? This is the biggest day for unloading the Tale of Moana. We have 4 trucks coming from Studio Hamburg, full of scenery. This is crunch time.
The Disney Treasure is leaving Europe soon.
The back of this truck is the Moana canoe.
So this choreography must be flawless.
We have to unload the truck over there and then bring it all over to the barge crane. We have a canoe. Load it onto the barge crane then drives over to the other side of the ship, which is the only entrance to the theater.
Okay, good to go down?
It's kind of a crazy day today.
We're bringing in the screen for you.
The Walt Disney Theater is built like a giant toolbox that can quickly adapt to fit the needs of any show.
Oh my God.
Look, there's the wall.
Yeah.
That was a fun surprise.
Yeah, awesome. Today, for sure, the first time I'm seeing things up and standing and together, so it's really exciting. Oh my God, the canoe is here with the sail. I didn't see the sail. Yeah, the sail looks wonderful.
Now, to add the special effects.
I'm actually looking at putting all the trackers on it so we can project on the sail, project on the floor around it. This one has about 16 separate trackers. No matter where it goes on the stage, we can track it so we can light it and project on it. Or we can project pretty much on every single surface in this theater, so you can really be immersed into whichever story we're telling. It's quite magical what the system can do.
While the magic is building throughout the ship, on the bridge, Captain Marco and his crew
Let's get ready.
have a schedule to keep.
2 hours notice to stand by for departure.
The Disney Treasure will be christened in New York City
Stand by below.
in just a few short weeks.
4 and 2 forward and aft.
So preparations are in full swing
4 thrusters are ready and tested.
for an imminent departure across the Atlantic.
All right.
Below deck,
I come in here to check on the quality of the produce.
they're loading enough food for the long journey at sea.
Nice. It's a complex operation. We're talking about 15,000 meals per day. We're using 4,000 pounds of potato, 2,500 pounds of carrots, 800 to 1,000 pounds of pineapple.
We are ready for standby.
Start the propulsion of all 4 thrusters.
For everyone on board, the crossing is a 2-week working window to bring all the final elements together.
People are trying their first test surfaces at restaurants. The light bulbs are being screwed in. The final coats of paint are going on. But the ship feels already that it's alive.
In the Walt Disney Theater,
Both of you should loop around, because this canoe won't be here.
the cast and crew of Disney The Tale of Moana rehearse with props and costumes for the first time.
Today is a tricky day. This is a great example of all of our elements coming together as one. Our biggest puppetry, a lot of our biggest effects and dancing and new music. All 2, 3, pull. Da, da.
All right, everyone, we're ready.
The stage managers call the shots.
Flower petals dropping in the house for about 30 seconds.
No, we're confetti. I'll take it.
It's really this lovely marriage between technical and performance. So for us, we're watching everything and finding exactly what needs to be seen for the next thing to happen.
Haley, can we set for Te Kā?
Yes.
Up until now, they've only practiced with a prototype of Te Kā.
We've never even ran the whole thing at speed, so I just want to know that it's actually achievable.
Today, they're working with the lava monster in its final form.
Te Kā, can you go to your position?
My goodness. Not the eye.
I don't know what's going on with Te Kā's eye.
Let's just put 2 more magnets on this.
Te Kā has been the most challenging, and we've made quite a few adjustments to her since she's been here on the ship.
Let's do this once without lights.
Are we good?
That's good.
All right, let's try that again. Stand by for track.
Now they can start finalizing Te Kā's moves.
Raising up, right, left.
So she matches the animated character.
Te Kā has been a lot of learning. I always joke it's like trying to pat your head, rub your stomach, and do a tap dance underwater all at the same time and still try to look like it's really easy. Turn up stage and roar at me here, Lexi. Ah! Come on!
Being able to puppeteer in this capacity, I've never done before. It's been probably one of my favorite things to do.
Awesome. Great. Relax for a second there, guys.
Lexi is doing double duty as Moana villains. She's one of Te Kā's puppeteers and also stars as the crab Tamatoa.
There's so much to do, so much to figure out that I'm really excited for, but also nervous about because we do open so soon.
That's great. It's my job to just keep the ship driving in the right direction, reacting and sort of adjusting and adapting to whatever comes our way.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Rehearsals and the Disney Treasures steam on as christening day fast approaches. In the Haunted Mansion parlor, the final push is on.
We have our illusions team on board, our special effects team. They are making sure our Ghostfish aquarium is all set and bringing some ghosts into our tank.
This is amazing. So this is the highlight moment. I'm gonna just take a quick peek.
The animated fish are custom built, each with its own personality and story.
We are losing a lot of definition on Boney and what's the other one called? Spiky?
I can squeeze them together so they're closer to each other, but it just kind of affects the choreography.
We've been fine-tuning, and it's all test and adjust.
And for the first ever haunted aquarium, you can never make too many ghost fish.
So the request came just last night if we could add a seahorse into the tank. So now I'm going in and gonna make our crazy Haunted Mansion seahorse skeleton and do a 3D file and add into the liveliness inside our tank. It is just part of the fun.
The Imagineers aren't the only ones having fun. This is a bar, after all.
The chilling challenge is gonna come in a box. Tonight we're doing the training with the beverage team.
It has to be nice and chilled because it's the chilling challenge.
I love the beverage team on Disney Cruise Line because they come with big ideas.
And we're gonna recreate the salted rim of a margarita with this foam.
All the drink we created are to die for. Listening to the Imagineers to tell us about the story of the venue, we decide let's create those cocktails around it.
And if you all smell that smoke, it has a particular scent and aroma that will actually enhance the cocktail. Who can guess the flavor of this one? Passion fruit. Passion fruit.
You cannot have those drinks outside the Haunted Mansion.
Here we have our Restless Experience.
Guests will have to solve a riddle in order for them to order that.
Create the potion in front of them.
I'm looking forward to our first test run at the Haunted Mansion parlor with guests.
Waiting for one more soul. You're waiting for one more soul. I like that thing. That's it. You're hired.
It's just a mad dash to the finish line before the maiden voyage.
While spirits rise in the Haunted Mansion parlor, in Plaza de Coco, the tables are set.
The room is doing its job to really make people feel like they're in Mexico. Next is food.
They're cooking up and taste testing all the dishes on the menu before they go live.
We wanted to put a lot of the Mexican influence in every dish. In some of the dishes, you will have like a very particular ingredient like cotija cheese or serrano pepper or products from the Mexican cuisine. Nice cover with the cotija cheese.
Precision is key when you're feeding 700 people twice every night.
Yeah, good job on the tomatillo salsa, right?
To build a restaurant experience, we do have to meld feeding people a beautiful meal, and then we're entertaining them with stories and all these wonderful characters.
All of it accompanied by the distinct sounds from the world of Coco.
We have a trio of mariachi musicians that are incredible.
Mariachi brings people together. Even people that have never heard mariachi before feel connected to it.
Muchachos, otra vez. Un, dos, pam, pam, param, pam, 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 pam.
I grew up listening to and learning mariachi music. My role is to ensure that the musical integrity of our mariachi music from Mexico is representative of the true music form.
Hey! Perfect. Thank you, guys. Gracias.
I'm excited for the launch of this show. I have moments of feeling nervous, but I keep my eye on the prize, which is telling this story for our guests and inspiring people to connect with familia.
It's so cool to just watch sort of these petals unfold in each space. Every night a little more is added or a new thing opens or a new thing is served.
With land in sight, it's nearly showtime.
I cannot wait for people to be able to see the ship.
This is New York City. Today is a really special day. The christening for the Disney Treasure.
Before the party can start, Captain Marco and his crew must put their simulator training to the test.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're all clear on the starboard quarter.
Seems like.
Navigating into New York requires a lot of focus and a lot of preparation.
The pier that we are assigned is basically perpendicular to the current of the Hudson River.
2 degrees to go, 7 degrees to return.
Practice makes perfect. And now it's time to celebrate.
Good evening, guests. We hope you are having a wonderful time.
The christening is such a special event in the life of the ship, of getting her ready to go into service for the guests.
All drones are launching.
To mark the occasion, 1,000 drones are synchronized to dramatize the story of the Disney Treasure.
On the seas, in the sky, we'll discover the treasure. Let's live the adventure.
Christen the Disney Treasure.
It's been years in the making. And now it's time to head home and greet guests for the first time.
Disney Treasure, please welcome aboard Dave and Mindy.
Good afternoon, Disney Treasure. This is Captain Marco speaking from the bridge. Now the ship is full of people, and especially full of kids. It changes everything. The ship is beautiful, but with the people on board, it gets even more beautiful.
What's that sign say?
This is the most exciting part because you get to see how guests are utilizing the spaces and how they feel about it. That's when it really comes to life.
Frankie, let's then make it main course. It's unique experience. Chicken mole ready? When we providing so many different options. You guys making the more enchiladas? It's fantastic.
The cast is very ready. I even told them, I'm passing the show off to you. It's yours now.
Papa Hector. The rest of the family is down at the cemetery setting up for Dia de Muertos, but I wanted a moment just to honor you today.
Once you actually have someone to make eye contact with, it really changes the emotion because you see how their eyes just grow.
Sí, señor. Así mero, muchacho.
I think we got it. I think we got that feeling of being with Abuela. And we're really sharing something that's authentic and beautiful.
Walt Disney said something that inspires us every day, which is, for every laugh, there should be a tear.
Welcome to the Walt Disney Theater. Enjoy the show.
We want to entertain people, of course, but we really want to touch their heart.
Places, everyone.
Is there a big line outside?
Huge line. Have a magical show, everyone.
It's like your child coming out for the first time. So you have to let it go and allow them to express themselves and be the best they are.
Track 5, go.
One shark coming out.
With this cast, I feel like we're capable of anything.
Tamatoa! That's me! No way! Yeah!
I'm just really grateful for this family.
To see something that you imagine go through all these brilliant creative minds and end up on stage is really exciting because we don't do any of this alone.
As a Pacific Islander who yearns for representation, I'm so incredibly proud.
Stand by tracks 19 and 20.
Stand by.
I do it for my ancestors. It's for those people that came before me.
That story translates to anyone. And if people can relate and find identity, we did our job.
You went out to sail with Moana. You ended up in the land of the dead with Miguel. Adventure is such a beautiful theme because that's what our guests are getting to experience.
There you are, and just in time.
After years of planning and design, and now we're here at the end of our journey.
Foolish mortals, here's some cards from Madame Leora.
This place is filled full of people. They're just really immersing themselves in the music
Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize.
and the lore and all the special illusions. Right there, you see it? It's a dream come true for all of us.
Hurry back. Hurry back.
Our team has just knocked this out of the ballpark.
I love when that happens.
This is the love and effort and passion of hundreds of people.
This place is to die for.
Good storytelling, everyone can see themselves in. And I think that we're doing that here.
Thanks, everyone. That's show.